What's up, everyone? My name is Robbie. I also go by the name Closing Dime. Last year, I made over $40,000 positive EV betting using websites like Oddsjam and Outlier. About a month ago, I started my own brand and business called SharpMoney Discord. I am one of three owners, and we developed a positive EV bot that does a lot of the same things that these other betting apps do. So let's get into the differences between the SharpMoney bot versus Oddsjam and Outlier. Let's first talk about how much money you can expect to make, really what your ROI could be using Oddsjam, Outlier, and the Sharp Money Positive EV bot. Now, I've been using websites like Oddsjam and Outlier for over a year, and I've made close to $40,000 with these two platforms. I'd probably say 75% of my bets come from Oddsjam, and I'll post right here, but I've made close to like a 5% ROI long term using these bots. And I just created the Sharp Money Discord bot to basically take all of the good things from these two apps and put them together in a really simple way to display data to the user. I've been tracking my bot for 1 month, and here are my results. I have close to a 13% ROI. Now, I know this number is not really obtainable long term. I think that I will probably end up right around 5, 6%, just like I did with Oddsjam and Outlier. After tracking the bot for a month, I've made close to $2,000 with it, and I've placed over 330 bets. Now, I started testing this with a very small unit size, and then I've gradually increased to my normal unit size. So right now it says I'm up almost 20 units, but realistically, it could probably be like 40 units because I started off with smaller unit amounts. Before we get into what each of these positive EV websites do, let's first talk about the pricing because there's big discrepancies in between all three of these platforms. Now, OddsJam, the cheapest plan you're going to get for access to their positive EV bot is $199 a month. While that does seem very expensive, it's been worth a while for me. I've used it for a long time and I think it's worth the price, but it is very expensive and most people don't even consider it because you need a larger bankroll to start. Now, on the other hand, we have Outlier, which is a cheaper rate, which is about $80 a month to access their positive EV bot and their positive EV system. The one thing here is that they only have 4 books, while OddsJam has access to like 100 different books. So there's a big gap there, but it is much cheaper. I also think their product is worth buying at $79.99 a month too. And then we have the Sharp Money Discord. We are starting our price at $19.99 a month. We have access to 6 different sports books right now. The first thing we'll talk about is how these websites find positive EV bets and how they display them to the user. Now, right off the bat, I'll tell you that Outlier and OddsJam, they do an amazing job at the user interface. It makes it really easy to find positive EV bets. But let me tell you how they actually find EV bets. Without with Outlier, you actually have to manually filter through which books you're going to use as your DVIG book. Now, this can be really problematic if you don't know exactly which books to use for which market. A lot of people assume that Pinnacle is the sharpest book all around, but when you're talking player props, if you follow just DVIG off of Pinnacle lines, you're going to get smoked. So you need to know what you're doing using Outlier. Now, on the other hand, OddsJam sort of spoons feeds you their plays. So they don't tell you exactly what algorithm they use, but they just give you a list of all the EV bets that their EV bot flagged and displays them on a really user-friendly interface. The only problem that I've had with this is I've gotten destroyed in certain markets betting on OddsJam. So if you watch some of my videos of me betting on OddsJam, you'll notice that I only bet probably half the plays on their page. And that's because a lot of those bets, I don't think they're actually positive EV bets and that their algorithm is wrong in determining the value of that bet. Or the market's just moving in the wrong direction, so I don't want to place a bet where I might lose value. Our positive EV bot at Sharp Money, I've taken all of the positives from OddsJam and gotten rid of all the negatives. So those bets that I would typically skip over on OddsJam, they're not going to be flagged on our positive EV bot. But our positive EV bot will flag almost all the plays you see on OddsJam. One of the other big advantages that the Sharp Money bot has over Oddsjam and Outlier is that our bot shows you the price action of the sharpest book in that category. So for most main lines, we're showing the odds chart of Pinnacle, because if Pinnacle moves their lines, then the market typically follows. So we're going to display the line chart with the positive EV bet. With Outlier, there's no way to find out which way the market is moving. And with Oddsjam, for that $199 a month, you're not going to have access to any line movement either. To get line movement, you're going to have to upgrade to the platinum plan for Oddsjam, and that's going to be close to $2,000 per month to have access to line movement. Now, line movement is extremely important because if you place a bet where it's gaining value, so say it's a 2% EV bet, but it's a market that's gaining value, you might place it at 2% EV, but by the time the line closes, you could be getting 5% EV. And it goes the other way too. If you're betting into a market that is losing value at 2% EV, the line could close and you could end up having a negative EV play. So it's really important to be able to have access to line movement. And our bot gives you a very cheap solution to this problem. One very important aspect of a positive EV better is being able to get out a lot of bets per day or a lot of volume. Now, Oddsjam has access to hundreds, if not thousands, of more markets than Outlier and the SharpMoney bot do. They also have access to hundreds of books and hundreds of sports. So, Oddsjam, I can easily find 100 plus bets a day using their website. With our positive EV bot, a SharpMoney, I'm placing anywhere between 20 and 50 bets a day. And then with Outlier, I could probably do the same amount, 20 to 50 bets. But like I said, you have to manually search for all of your bets. So it's going to eat up a lot more time. With Oddsjam and the SharpMoney bot, you're sort of getting spoon fed the plays, and it can make it a lot less time consuming. One more thing I'd like to add is that the Sharp Money bot has access to a lot of different sports and leagues using the main lines and spreads. So we have access to like the Korean Baseball League, minor league baseball, obviously your major sports. We have access to cricket leagues and stuff like that. And we're working to add in soccer and tennis and golf, a couple other things. But we have access to a lot more sports than Outlier does. Outlier is just scanning the main markets right now, and we are scanning probably 20 to 30 different leagues. So we have a little bit of an edge over them there. Like I said, Oddsjam, far superior. Any league you could ever think of, they're searching the odds for it. So they're doing a great job there. But we're slowly adding more markets and more sports to choose from. So we're excited about that. When you join the Sharp Money Discord, you're joining a group of like-minded bettors that are all trying to make money, beating the sports books. Now, the cool thing about being a part of this community is everyone is there to help each other out and make money. So, you have any questions about positive EV betting or arbitrage betting, anything related to profitable sports betting, I will be there to answer your questions. A lot of the other Sharp Money members will be there to answer your questions, or just some of the paid customers. They also help out. Right now, we have a community of over 600 members, and it's growing very quickly. We only opened up 10 days ago, so we already have 600 members in there and over 120 in the paid section. Now, when you join a community like Oddsjam, there really is no community. There's no Discord to talk in. Their customer service is really good, but they're not going to answer too many questions just about basic betting strategies. Outlier does have a Discord, and there are a lot of helpful people in there too. So I will say that their community is really good. But the cool thing with the Sharp Money community is that we're all placing the same bets. We're all finding the same bets using the bot. So it's fun when we're all rooting for someone to get a hit at the end of the game. And it just makes for a really fun time in the Discord. Let's talk about what makes each of these platforms unique. Now, Oddsjam, they are unique because they have access to more data than any other website that I know. They have access to so many books, so many sports, so many markets. So that's really what makes them unique. They also use their own algorithm to determine the value of a play, which no one knows the true algorithm there. So that's unique, something they do. And they have just so many more tools than any other website that I know of. They have middle tools, low hold tools, arbitrage tools, the positive EV tool. They just have a lot of ways to make money. In my opinion, they are far superior to any other EV or profitable sports betting bot, but it comes with a major cost starting at $199 per month. They also have access to DFS platforms, which is cool. So you can find a few bets to place in DFS slips. I've made a little money doing that, but it does take a lot of time to find, 5 plays to put into one slip. But it is something that they're doing that a lot of other places aren't doing. Let's talk about now. Outlier is unique because it's one of the only platforms that combines positive EV betting with just like simple data collection. And this is like really appealing to the average bettor. And it's great for an average bettor to find Outlier and then discover positive EV betting because they are kind of intertwined. But for a positive EV bettor, a lot of the data they're showing you for, the last 5 game averages, last 20 game averages, how someone does against a lefty pitcher, a righty pitcher, a lot of this data is really cool. And people might think they can find an edge just using the data on Outlier. But realistically, the sportsbook already have the knowledge to all those basic stats. So finding that, you're not going to find an edge on Outlier just using the basic stats. They do have the positive EV tool now. So I always think it's really cool to be able to partner both of them together. So I can find a positive EV bet, then find some stats that make me confident in that bet that support it. But realistically, a lot of the data shown is kind of useless to a positive EV bettor. So I already know the book has all that information. Now that we've talked about the other 2 platforms, let's talk about the SharpMoney Discord and what makes us unique compared to other positive EV bots and other platforms. So obviously we are Discord, so the community is always talking, and there's always a chat going on. There's always something to learn or just someone to talk to. It's also cool because we are playing the same bets, so we're rooting with each other for our bets to hit. Our positive EV bot does a lot of things differently or uniquely compared to the other 2. Like I said, the tracking line movement is very good at the price we offer. We also, for FanDuel player props, we list if the player's in the starting lineup or not. And the reason that's important is because if for FanDuel, if your player is not in the starting lineup, but then they come in to pinch hit, then your bet will still count. So if you have someone to get 2 hits and then they come in and pinch hit in the 9th and even get a hit, then your bet is not going to cash. Meanwhile, the other apps, they will void your bet if your guy isn't in the starting lineup. The problem with Outlier and FanDuel is they'll just flag this bet as EV early in the day, and you don't even know if the player is starting. So I've done it multiple times where I bet someone who I thought would be in the starting lineup and they're not. So our bot lets you know if they're in their starting lineup or not, which will save you some money in the long run. The other thing that I've yet to talk about in the SharpMoney Discord, but we have 3 profitable sports bettors, myself included, who all post probably 5 to 10 bets per day. Just our own personal bets that we find using other platforms or just other data that we use to find these bets. And the 3 of us are all known profitable sports bettors. We have a biography in the Discord showing our all-time stats so that you can trust our bets. And we've had a lot of success in there so far. I think if you were a $10 unit bettor and you were just tailing my callouts for 10 days, you would have made over $70. And we also have 2 parts of our Discord. One is the premium plan and one is free. So in the free plan, you have access to a few chat channels, and we post certain plays from the bot and a few of our own callouts every day. So it's a great community to get into for free. You can sort of check it out. And like I said, our premium plan, that's going to be where you can access the positive EV bot and all of our callouts and more chats. That's going to wrap it up for this video. You can use your own judgment for which platform is right for you. Obviously, Oddsjam has more tools than anyone else, more markets, but they are more expensive. Outlier has a good combination of EV bets and data. And then the SharpMoney Discord has a really good community. The Discord bot does a really good job at finding positive EV bets and will help you learn about positive EV strategies, profitable sports betting strategies, stuff like that. So I hope you guys join. Right now we're offering a 7-day free trial. And after that, if you just cancel, you're not going to get charged, but it's only $19.99 a month after that. It's a really good price. I think you'll have no problem making your money back, in just a couple of weeks. But thanks for watching this video. If you like profitable sports betting content, like and subscribe. There's plenty of other videos I have out there explaining different strategies. So let's go make some money. Hope to see you guys in the Discord.